On there.
Testing 1 2.
That's mine. Go to 2.
This behind the scenes. Where I'm live here on CENTEX. Come on in, man.
Yeah,
I can't
do one more, Jamal.
If I come in there, you got on the Michael Parsons.
Hey, man, I got to wear. Hey, we won last night.
They won. Yeah, they did.
He said we won.
We won last night, man. Hey, Jerry Bell traded him, but I didn't.
This is my shirt.
Yeah, either one of them. If you wanted the shirt,
What if I want both of them?
do it. You can have both of them.
Okay.
You can have both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. I need
Hey,
Hey, that's fine with me.
what's up, everybody? Hey, we about to get started on Friday Night Flex tonight. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who tuning in tonight. Friday, if y'all don't know what Friday Night Flex is, it is
All right, we can go after RJ's mom.
it's an in-studio broadcast where we track Texas high school football all around the state, but focusing here in Central Texas. We got some really big games happening this weekend, this Friday, and so we're gonna be tracking. You're gonna be if you want to see the produced version.
Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Friday Night Flex. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, as we are here for another great Friday of football here in the Central Texas area. We want to thank everybody for tuning in with us over on CENTEX Sports Network. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're watching with us on YouTube, CENTEX Sports TV over on YouTube. Also, like and share this stream as we're going to be covering all things football here in the Central Texas area. All of the teams here in Waco will be covering them. We got some great games lined up for you here today, so we're going to give you guys all the analysis on that. Joining me here on the set, we've got a full set with us here once again today. We've got to my left, the most famous man in Waco, Mr. Rocky Miller, in the building with us. To his left, we've got the WISD Hall of Famer, Mr. Wayne Walker, in the building with us. Fellas, we're back another Friday, man. How y'all feeling?
Hey, I'm surprised you missed the two-time All Southwest Conference wide receiver. I mean, go and give him all his accolades.
Give me my flowers. I hear you, man.
No, folks. We're
We
super
made all
excited.
conference and track once or twice.
I was.
We're going to have to get the list, man. We're going to have to print out of his accolade before we come up here so we can make sure we get all of them on there.
Super Centex, all that, yeah.
Well, you knew he was that if he was All-American and all that. He had to be the Super Centex
Top
to go
30
along
high
with it.
school football recruit.
Yeah.
Number 3 receiver in the state of Texas. Nah, we're not going to do all that today.
You good. Talking your noise. Hey, folks, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today on Friday Night Flex. Like I said, lots of great games to cover here in the Central Texas area. As you see here to my left, we got a Cowboys jersey. Has made an appearance here. First one on Friday Night
We got a win last night, man.
I don't know who we is that he's referring to, saying we got to win. I seen the Packers get a good win, though, last night versus the Commanders, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later in the show. We'll talk about some college football, too, later on in the show. Let's get you guys ready for these high school games that are getting ready to happen, and I want to start with first a game that happened last night as the Midway Panthers were able to come out successful, moving on to 3-0 as they picked up a win last night versus Leander Rouse. They won that game 38-28, and as I was watching the game and making my analysis on the game, I said, okay, I got to move this guy, number 4, Mr. Lathan Wissington, up on my list from one of the top backs in Central Texas to the top back in Central Texas. This guy was on fire once again yesterday. He got his most carries he had of the season yesterday, and he only had 15 carries. In those 15 carries, he was still able to go for $135 and a couple of touchdowns. And I saw probably the best play I've seen in high school football so far this year for Central Texas. They had a kickoff that was going towards Midway, and the ball kind of bounced around. They thought the ref was going to blow it dead. He didn't. So Lathan Wissington had to go all the way back there, pick the ball up, ended up becoming a 99-yard touchdown on a broken play. So this guy was all over the field. He did it all for his team. The Midway Panthers move on to 3-0 under the leadership of Coach Joe Gillespie, who's off to a hot start. Fellas, this is the 6-18 that we get to cover here in Waco. Wayne, I'll start with you, man. We talked about this Midway team earlier in the week when you were on the show. What do you think about them moving on to 3-0, picking up another win?
Man, that's terrific. I mean, we have been talking about them for the last 2 weeks, and they keep giving it to the playmakers to make big plays.
Absolutely.
I mean, Wissington or whatever his name. Man, this kid is electric. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat with it. And what a way to get off to the season to be 3-0. And I don't know what they're doing next, but Thursday seems to be the good look for them. They had
They
3
need to kick it
Thursday
on
games
Thursday.
straight, and they come out victorious each and every week.
Yeah, it's been a great start for the Panthers. Like I said, the first 3-0 start probably since the 2019 season or 2018 season when they went all the way to the state championship game. Haven't been able to have a 3-0 start since then. This team is really starting to hit their rhythm, and it's with minimal load on their guys. I just talked about Latham Wissington. He's only got 27 carries for the whole season. At this point in week 3, we're seeing guys have 50, 60 carries almost at sometimes in this point in the season. This guy's only gotten 27 carries and been able to have the production that he's had so far.
Exactly. I mean, 27 carries and for 358 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's a season for a lot of kids, you know? And he's done it in 3 games. So, man, hey, if he can keep this up, man, I mean, he'll be super CENTEX, being recruited all over the place. And, man, I mean, just keep getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. That's what it's all about. And I know the coach is smart enough to do that if he was an offense coordinator on a collegiate level. So expect for these kids for them to keep the ball in these kids' hands.
But what about Jaden Fields Vaughn? He's no slouch.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
He's no slouch.
Not even a little bit.
So it may be, a situation where they have a great offensive line, right? And they're just making the whole. I really want to get a chance to really look at Midway and see what they have. Like these numbers at that level
That's PlayStation,
are unheard of.
That's Madden, ain't it, man? That's what I used to do you in Madden, man. But like Rocky said, Jaden Fields Vaughn, man, is the same way. I think he's a bigger playmaker.
Yeah,
honestly. I mean, I mean, he's that guy. He's really electric. And Wissington is a kind of like their bell cow, but I mean, you take these averages of both of these kids, man, and it's astronomical, man. Like, I mean, what are they doing? Like Rocky said, maybe the line or maybe it's the kids. I don't know.
I mean, are they running double reverses every play?
That's what
you know
it
what I
seems
mean?
like.
Exactly.
I think their first 3 touchdowns last night was 60 yards. Jacoby Hamilton got one for 77 yards on the catch, and then the next one was 50 yards. So it's an explosive offense with these guys.
Usually you have in this day and age you have a one back, normally a one back system,
Right.
But in this situation, when you have 2 guys that dominate on the ground, that's rare.
That's
That's rare.
It is.
That's rare. And again, I guess I don't have to speculate. When you have that kind of production, you have to be dealing with an offensive line that's really.
You have to. I mean, you have over 700 yards of offense and 12 touchdowns in 3 games. I mean, that's PlayStation, man.
Yeah,
That's
it is. And that's not including Fields Vaughn's numbers. I think he got in a little bit in garbage time at the end of yesterday. He didn't have his numbers posted yet, so it might be more than the 373 yards. That's just the first 2 games.
Yeah, in addition to the third phase of it, which is a kickoff return. You add that to it, man. That's all. That's 2 phases of the game. On offense, return team, and offense and they putting up the numbers, man. They putting up the numbers.
To me, kick returns, punt returns, and pick sixes, those unscripted scores.
Oh yeah,
kind of. It's hard to lose a game when you have one of those plays in your game.
That's why we always say 3 phases of the game, and that third phase is very important because if you miss a field goal or if you flip the field in a punt return or a deep punt, I mean, because now when the punter is punting out of his own end zone, when he punts it, you already in field goal position. Yeah. So it's so important, those 3 phases of the game, and like you say, to those unscripted points that you get as a team, man, you wasn't banking on those. You wasn't banking on those. You was banking on somebody rushing it into the end zone. You wasn't banking on somebody getting a pick six or a scoop and score or a block punt or anything of that nature. So whenever you can get those, man, that's a blessing to a team, man.
Yeah.
That's because it's unscripted.
Yeah, it's unscripted. Like I said, Midway's off to a great start. I'm looking forward to see how this season progresses. When you have, one thing I always say is when you have one player like that with the large majority of your offensive output, two players, right? To be a great team, you're going to have other guys involved in the offense.
Absolutely.
And let's just see. But as long as you're putting up these kind of numbers, you're going to be in every ball game.
One of them.
But again, Midway's in a situation where you won't have to worry about them getting tested. They will get tested, and we'll be able to see what they are moving forward.
Yeah,
but it allows you got two guys that can do that, so you can't focus in on one guy. That's the lovely thing about it. You got a two-headed monster. You know what I'm saying?
And their receivers are no slouch either. They brought back a guy that caught for 1,000 last year.
You kill one head and you got the other head to deal with. So I mean, that's a lovely thing, and that's a lovely place for Midway to be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Phils Vaughn will start getting these offers rolling in. Lathan Wissington, he's got offers from every conference in football already in Power 4. SEC, Big Ten, everybody. He's got Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas.
Well, how big a kid is he?
He's about 5. Let me see if I can get his stats. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he's not a little kid at all, and neither is Phils Vaughn either.
When I see guys with these kind of numbers,
6 foot, 200 pounds is.
I also want to see is either of these guys track guys, because this kind of I know we talk about football speed and all that kind of stuff. But usually guys like that is having those kind of plays. They can get on the track and do something. That was one of your superpowers, walk on the field, is that you had elite speed. So anytime you got behind the defense, it was Katie Barton.
Ain't no catching from behind. But that's what it looks like when you look at these numbers right here. You look at their big playability. That's what it kind of looked like. They track guys, and once they get in the open field, they hard to bring down or they hard to catch. So. That's what it looks like, man. It looked like those numbers that I used to have in high school, or that offense. I would love to play in it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's all big plays. That's
Would you say, Walker, your first game you had 3 carries for 2 touchdowns, 160 or something like that?
Yeah, 160. So
you would have liked to play in that offense.
Yeah, you would like playing that type of offense. That's fun. I mean, and that's fun from an offensive.
Only thing I can say is how come Coach T didn't give you more carries? Like with that kind of average.
But at that time, we had a guy named Chris Sadley that was on the team.
I was loaded. That's all that was. Y'all had multiple guys you could go to.
Yeah, talent.
But the Midway Panthers off to a hot start, led by this two-headed rushing attack. Their receivers have been getting in the action as well. Their quarterback has thrown for 6 or 7 touchdowns already this season. They averaged 50 points coming into yesterday. They scored 38, and that was a down game for them. And the team they played in, Leander Rouse, was averaging 52 points a game. When they were coming into it, Midway's defense was able to step up, hold those guys to just 28 points. So I'm loving the start right now for the Midway Panthers. They got Mansfield next week. They finally get a home game. They haven't played a home yet this season. They'll get their first home game in their 4th game of the season as they'll take on Mansfield for their last non-district game. Lots of great games going on here under the Friday night lights here in Waco, Texas here tonight, folks. Before we get back into some more of those games, I want to talk a little bit about the college game that's getting ready to go on in about 10 minutes here. Colorado Buffs taking on the University of Houston Cougars. Me and Rock, we got to talk about this game a little bit yesterday. Wayne, last week or the first week, we were on the show and you said, nah, man, I don't know if Colorado's going to be able to get Georgia Tech. And me and Rocky were both pulling for Colorado on this one. So I'll go to your analysis first on this. What do you think Colorado's getting ready to do playing a couple hours away from here in Houston right now?
Man, it's going to be a tough year for them. I mean, you're already 1-1. Your 3rd game of the season, you changed quarterbacks. You're on the road, and Colorado is one of those teams that they're going to play on national television every week, so they're going to get the best from every opponent that they play. Okay? They're going to get the best, and they finna get the best of the University of Houston, which is trying to find their identity, but they're 2-0. Mm-hmm. So they know this is a big game in Houston. Deion Sanders is coming to town. The Colorado Buffaloes are coming to town. So I'm going to tell you, the University of Houston is going to win.
You got U of H winning this one. Their favorite, look like Vegas agreeing with you. Their favorite 3.5-point favorites in this game. A low point total, only 45.5 points. So they think it's going to be a defensive game.
And Rock, I want you to know I've been hot. I've been very hot on my picks, man.
Yeah,
I've been very hot, man. That's Jalen, man. Hey.
Well,
he been on it.
I'm opening up my underdog now, and I'm going against your recommendation here. But I'm kind of hedge my bet.
Oh, you
here.
hedging?
I'm hedging. I'm gonna take Connor Wigman over 176 yards.
Oh yeah.
Passing. I'm gonna take Staub under 2 touchdowns. And I'm gonna take Draylon
Miller. Yeah.
Draylon Miller for over 29 yards receiving, and I'm gonna take Colorado for the win. And we'll see.
That's a package, y'all. He don't put it together for you. He got some props.
All these props.
He got some over unders. He got a little bit of everything in there.
I'm telling you, the one that's gonna lose though is the one that you pick Colorado to win, man. You can pick all the other ones you want to, but when it comes down, when it's said and done, I'm thinking University of Houston, the Cougs gonna win.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one for Colorado, man. Like you said, if they're changing quarterbacks, Staub is gonna be the guy to start. He's moving from third string to first string. It's a completely different seat. Coming in the third quarter is a lot different than getting that first snap out there.
You, man,
U of H, this might be the only time they got to cheer like that. They're 2-0.
This might be the only time they're on national television.
Yeah, and for sure the only time they're on national television.
Colorado is always going to get everybody's.
Everybody.
It's just like the Cowboys. You remember the Cowboys when it was America's team? When
it
was America's team?
It is America's team. Well, it was, is, and will always be America's team.
No, it's Rocky's team. It's Rocky's team right now. But that's the situation.
I'm actually surprised Staub is starting. As we
both thought Salter was going to get the start.
We thought Salter would get the start.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. I did too.
Yeah,
I also thought so. I think in this situation, what's happening here, Walker, and you can talk to this. You got a guy that's a dual threat quarterback, a pure not pocket passer, yet your weapons in this offense are all wide receivers pretty much. Do you think he's making this change to try to appease or try to institute an offense that features his wide receivers rather than the dual threat ability of his quarterbacks?
The problem you have with a dual threat quarterback is he going to be accurate, okay? So you can be dual threat all you want to, but if you got a spy or somebody playing zone, you're not finna run the ball as a dual threat quarterback a lot. You're not finna gain a lot of yards. So they're going to force you to throw, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you can't be accurate, then you don't have anything. You don't have a quarterback at all. You take the duel out of it. You take the duel out of it.
You take the threat out of it.
You take the threat out of it. So now you just have a guy sitting
You have another running back.
You got another running back. That's all that's playing quarterback. That's throwing interceptions and turning the ball over.
Well, the main thing I see with Salter, he wasn't really turning the ball over or whatever. He just wasn't getting the ball out of his hand in rhythm.
He was inaccurate. He wasn't, like, when you have a receiver that's open, man, those chances you have to take advantage of. You gotta make those throws.
Yeah.
That's what you practice for. That's what you go through everything for the whole routine all week. Those repetitions, you gotta hit those passes, man, or not you punting. Because you don't get those opportunities. Those opportunities don't come all the time. So when they are there, you have to take advantage of them. So I think that's the problem. The other problem is they can't run the ball, but they can be ran on.
Yeah.
And until they fix those problems on the interior line, it's gonna be tough, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough on the Buffs. They playing in a tough environment here tonight. Like you said, it's national television. They're gonna get the best shot of the University of Houston.
And I love Dion. I want him to win. But it's just if you want to be honest, you have to be honest. You have to if you want to give an honest analysis, which you are, you have to be.
See, this is who I think they are right here.
But that's what they're doing. They're featuring their passer, a guy that can get the ball to the receivers, whether it's deep, short, or intermediate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I would go with that rather than
They brought guys in who can pass protect as far as offensive line. As we saw the first week, I don't know what Seaton is in the running game, but in the passing game, he's definitely upgraded his.
He's a monster.
Yeah. And they not a running team. They're not a running team. They let you know that they're not a running team, that they're a team that want to get the ball down the field, but they thought they would try this dual threat quarterback, which would give them a different type of option and would make it tough on the defense. Because if you got a dual threat guy that's accurate, then it is a threat. But when he's not accurate and he can't get the ball to the open guys and he can't read coverages,
when he can't hit the side of the barn from the inside,
he just dual.
Yeah. He just dual.
Dual and dull. Dual and dull. That's whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're doing right now. They're going with the guy that can at least give them a chance to win.
And they barely got that on the run.
Yeah, so Colorado's in for it here tonight as they're playing the University of Houston. I expect them to win. Houston's not that good. The roster's not that talented, but we just watched them beat a Delaware team 31-7. So we know that they're going to have their work cut out for them here today with Colorado.
Here's what I'll say with Colorado. If you compare the rosters, the skills on the offense are much better than what Houston has defensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they can somehow get those guys going, they can make this a shootout.
Yeah, and I don't really think it'll be a shootout because I don't see University of Houston scoring like that.
But it's vice versa on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they can control the ball running,
right,
then you can keep that high-powered offense off the field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
two lame defenses playing against two capable offenses.
That's what you have. Is Houston the kind of team that can run the ball? We know Georgia Tech. They are a running team. They specialize in running the ball. These are the things that I'm talking about here from Houston. If this is how they're going to play Colorado, getting the ball to these wide receivers, guy has so much space. Walker.
You got to have a guy that exactly. You got to have a guy that'll give him that ball. You can't have a guy that's sitting back there and see how
it's on time.
It's on time. It's on time. It's with rhythm, and you have to play with rhythm. He wasn't playing with rhythm. And what he was doing is he waiting to see and this, that, and other. By the time you wait to see, there he covered.
Yeah.
So that was with rhythm, and that's what you want to have on offense. You want to have rhythm. You want to be smooth. You want to, when the receiver come out of his break, the ball is in the air and already there. And when the quarterback gets to his last step, you want him to be already know where he's going with the ball, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's looks like why Staub is getting the start. So we'll check in some more on this Colorado game and see how they're going to fare against the University of Houston. I want to go over to our game of the week here for Friday Night Flex, and that is China Spring taking on the University Trojans at home in what is a great football environment. Me and Wayne were on it last week, and we talked about that China Spring environment out there, how their home crowd can get. They're taking on a really tough University team that is talented and stacked. Coach Betty said they have guys everywhere. He said London Smith is a guy that anytime he touches it, he is an option to go to the house, and I believe the same thing. I have University winning this game here tonight, but they're going to have to bring their A game playing against China Spring, especially at home. China Spring is coming off a loss to a Bastrop team that's also ranked a division ahead of those guys playing in the 5A just like University is. So they were punching up a little bit in the game that they lost, but they stuck with those guys the entire time. It's going to be really fun to see these two teams match up against each other. Star players to look for in this game. University, they're loaded. You got to look for London Smith, the Baylor commit. You got to look for Devontae Kirkland on the defensive side of the ball, another Baylor commit. And then their dual threat quarterback, Savoy Nichols, who was able to get into rhythm last week and was able to come back and be able to play some better football. This University team is stacked. China Spring has got some guys on the other side. Jackson Knapp, another dual threat guy playing quarterback, taking over for some other China Spring guys these last few years. And then their do-it-all running back in Krishan Gregory, who had over 150 yards of total offense last week in their loss. In week 1 versus the number 2 team in 3A Division I, Franklin, when they played those guys, they came out with a victory 42-28. Krishan Gregory was able to go for 400 yards of total offense. So we know what he can do. He's a special player, and I'm sure they're going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Rocky, you're familiar with both of these programs, with University and with the China Spring program as well. How do you see this one playing out here tonight at 7 o'clock?
Well, I think it's going to be tough for China Spring anytime you're playing a team that has 4 D1 commits on.
Yeah.
Like that makes it tough. However, with that environment in China Spring, it could maybe unsettle the quarterback Savoy and maybe some the other guys, and that maybe they can get on top of University and make University play from behind the entire game. Again, but in my opinion, China Spring has to get on them early and put the pressure on those guys, because if you have really talented teams and they get to play downhill, it can get very ugly. It can get ugly, especially when you talk about that kind of talent. When you have a quarterback and a wide receiver that probably you're not going to be able to match up with.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
You're not. No one. They don't have anybody that can match up with London.
No, not talent wise, they don't. Which is going to be the problem. The problem with this type of game is it's like a rivalry type of home game where you have to plant your feet in the ground. As far as you have to cement your feet in the ground, because it's China Springs, it's La Vega, it's all when you play games like this, it's a big game, and I think University will rise to the occasion. I think they'll win this game. I think their stars will come out and play. They travel well. They're gonna travel well tonight. They're gonna be in China Springs
If they can find any seats.
Yeah, that's true
for
too.
real, because it's gonna be packed.
But on the other hand, it's a big game for China Spring too.
Yeah,
they're playing a division above them, and they have something to prove. And if they can go out and they can beat Franklin and then they can beat University, then they know where they stand.
As you talk about that, Walker, this is really one of those games for University. They have really nothing to gain from this game. If they play a China Spring and they beat them. Yeah. They're supposed to beat them.
They're supposed to beat them. But if they lose.
However, if they lose, they're going to be looked at as sort of inferior to a China Spring team. Again, I like these kind of matchups.
Yeah.
Because it gives us an opportunity to see, one, how good is a China Spring team this year? Are they at the elite level? And what it also gets us to see, knowing the environment. This is going to be a playoff environment for University.
Yeah.
So I look forward to this game, and I think it could be a great game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good one. That is the game of the week that everybody's waiting to see. China Spring versus University. It was a super good game last year when they played at WISD Stadium.
And if it was a game that if we wasn't here,
in
studio,
for sure,
we would all three probably be there.
Absolutely.
But we're giving you our perspective. If you want something new, exciting, fun, you need to be looking at this. You need to be looking at CENTEX Sports.
Yeah, you can be sitting in the stands with your headset on. Listening to us, keeping up with all the scores around the area.
Yeah.
So, like if Rocky said, if you can't get in the stadium, you need to be sitting here at home looking at us and getting your perspective here.
No, most definitely. And we're going to give you guys updates on all these games as they go on. Before we go on the break, I want to get to a couple of more of these games before we get to this 7 o'clock hour where a lot of these games are starting. The La Vega Pirates, the state runner-ups in 4A Division II last year, they are taking on a game that I said is starting to become a rivalry. When you play guys 3 or 4 times in 2 years, it starts to become a rivalry as they take on West Orange Stark tonight at 7 o'clock, playing in a neutral site, but it's still a far drive. You're going from Waco all the way out there to Nacogdoches where those guys will be meeting up.
Yeah, last year, not neutral site.
Yeah, that ain't that neutral.
If you go to Nac, boy, Nac is a drive from here,
man. Oh, man, that's a real drive.
It's a drive from West Orange Stark.
Yeah, West Orange Stark far, too, from Nacogdoches. But this will be the 3rd time these guys play in a calendar year. West Orange Stark was able to beat those guys in their first matchup during the season. And then in the playoffs, La Vega was able to get their lick back versus West Orange Stark. And those guys remember it. Their coach referenced the game from the playoffs, saying, hey, they remember that. We want to be able to get back at these guys, get back in the win column versus the La Vega team. West Orange Stark, a storied program. La Vega, the exact same thing. Coach Don Hyde is used to playing in these games. He's the only guy in Central Texas that's scheduling games like this, where they're playing top-tier teams. Last week they lost to Salina. This week they're taking on the West Orange Stark team, where we got to see the birth of Courtney Parr and his success last year. This is the game where it kind of all started for him versus West Orange start. Now, getting back into the groove of things, this La Vega offense has got to find a way to get in rhythm. I know they played a super tough opponent last week at Salina in tough circumstances. They had to get up on a Saturday morning after driving all the way back from Salina on Friday after the game got canceled. Got up on a Saturday morning and drove all the way to Mansfield to go and play against a team that hasn't lost in 2 years. So that was a tough matchup for them. But they've got to find a way to get their offense going. So far, Courtney Parr hasn't played up to par of what we're used to seeing him doing last year. We'll see if this is a game where he can start to get back in rhythm, find his 4-star receiver in Jabari Thornton, the Oklahoma State commit, and get this offense going. They've been able to run the ball with guys as Rocky's coined the nickname Elbert the Hammer Jones. With guys like that, he's been able to make plays running the ball and on kickoff return as well, along with guys like Marcoy Willis on the defensive side has been able to play well in special teams as well. Folks, what do you think La Vega's got to do to get back into the win column, taking on a West Orange start?
This is what I got to say. I think La Vega has to go back to their formula that they had with Bryson Rowland. Mm-hmm. I know they have Courtney Parr was put in some situations last year on that run where he was forced to pass and he was able to connect on some passes. Mm-hmm. But to me, La Vega's DNA is that they're a physical running football team. That's what they have to be able to do. And this year, that's led by Elbert. I'd give Elbert just as many carries as they used to give Bryson. You know how with Rowland, he may have 40 yards for 10 carries in the second half, and then in the first half, and then by the second half, they'll continue to give it to him, and he'll eventually break through. And next thing you know, he has a 150, 200-yard game.
Yeah,
that's what I think they have to do with Elbert the Hammer Jones. They have to just keep putting those nails in by giving him the football, and not get enamored by the passing game, trying to get the ball to Thornton out there.
Yeah.
Again, I know Thornton is a great option in the passing game, but their DNA as a team is running the football, and they have to be able to do that consistently in order to be who I think they truly are.
Yeah,
I think La Vega's gonna be okay. I think they'll get back to doing what playing La Vega football. Mm-hmm. And like you said, that's running the ball. They played a tough opponent last week, and so that wasn't going to allow them to run the ball. So you have to do everything. You have to be balanced. But they play this tough non-district schedule for a reason, and that's so they can measure up their competition and get better in the spots that they're not good at. And Salina wouldn't let them run because if they make them one-dimensional. So that's pretty good coaching. But I think they're going to – early on, you're going to have to depend on your passing game, but you have to be balanced, and they wasn't balanced. So it all starts with the run. So once you can run the ball, you can do play action, and then you're able to run when they stack the line of scrimmage. Well, I don't know what happened with Salina, but they weren't able to run the ball. And so now you're playing from behind, and now you have to throw the ball. And but I think La Vega's going to be just fine if they get back to playing just La Vega football. Yeah. And it all starts with their defense.
Yeah.
So when you're ahead and you're not allowing teams to score on you or drive the ball down the field, then you can go out and you can do what you want to offensively. But when you're playing from behind, La Vega is not a team that can play from behind because they have to rely on their offense to be able to run the ball, which is what they do best.
Yeah, that's what they've been able to do is run the ball and play defense, similar to teams like the Steelers or other teams we see. That's how La Vega's made their name, running the ball and stopping the run on the other side. They've got to get back to those things. And La Vega hasn't played a team that's in 4A Division II yet. They played Kennedale, they played Salina, who's in 4A Division I, and now they're getting ready to play a West Orange Star team. This will be their first team that they'll play that's in 4A Division II.
What division is Salina in?
4A Division I. Okay. They're right above them.
They've grown out there.
They're grown out there, man.
Salina's
and they got a culture.
Yeah.
In Salina. I mean,
they ain't lost since 2023 for a reason. Their quarterback is going to Oklahoma. They tight ends going to Pittsburgh. Like man,
they got kids in elementary out there, man, out there in the Pop Warner program, man, running the same plays and lifting weights already in the weight room.
And probably have a situation, a culture where when kids move in, they expect to be part of a winning program.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that's what they raise their kids for. And if you go to
They
some
all red
community,
shirt.
yeah,
They all take that red shirt year at 6 years old and stay home with mama one more
Red
year.
shirt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what that's called, man.
But you have some communities that's like that, man. They
Yeah.
born and bred football. Like when you in the 3rd grade, you gonna be a lion.
Yeah,
you gonna
yeah.
be a lion when you grow up, and they already started to get them ready.
I didn't know
for that.
So speaking of that red shirt year I was talking about, my kids were out of China Spring, and they were graduated at 17. All of them graduated at 17. Cameron and Rashad Riel all graduated at 17. And they were playing with some kids on their team that were about to turn 19.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
But
they were
your
taking.
kids won a state championship
Yeah.
though, didn't they?
Yeah.
In China Springs, right?
Well, my son, my oldest son, he was a freshman the year that they won.
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but my when they played for it, they didn't win it, but they played for it. My point in saying it out there is that those guys out there, they have a system that they work off of, and they'll give their kids a chance to develop, so to speak, be a little more mature before they enter kindergarten,
right.
Yeah.
and they can afford to do that. We, on the other hand, some of us, we got to hurry up and get our butt in pre-K. So our
My
parents
son
won't
is
have
3
to,
right now in
Yeah.
pre-K. So
yeah. So so we won't have to pay that. What's that called? Daycare. Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't have to
exactly,
get it.
exactly. Go on to school.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's those programs.
Yeah, like Solana, I'm telling you, man.
A kid that's 19 may not be a Division I football player, but he's one hell of a high school player.
Hey, my best player in my senior year was 20, so I already know what it is.
But I'm gonna tell you this. But I'm gonna tell you this. So when I was in West Texas in Lubbock, Friday night football in West Texas is a lot different from Friday night football in Central Texas.
Really?
Because Friday night football in West Texas, they close in the county store, the country store,
The gas
the
station.
gas station, everything's closed. It's
All the
football,
restaurants,
they get what you need early.
If you want a hot dog, if you want something to eat, you got to go to the concession stand.
You can't. Everything is closed. It's all football.
Yeah.
It's all football.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different from here, where you have the option to go do everything. Here, you had that's my boy Jay Phil. But you had an option to do everything here, and go to different in those West Texas towns and those small towns. You only have one option. That's
it.
going to see Littlefield.
I'm gonna tell you this: they widened that highway going to China Springs just for Friday night. Because I know, I stayed pretty close to the stadium, but I knew people that couldn't get out of there till 12 o'clock, waiting, trying to navigate that one lane, that 2-lane highway back in the day. When you would be coming, when Robertson would come to town or Lorena would come to town, it would just be so much traffic coming through town.
And then at the same time, you had to move those games to Baylor Stadium at times.
Yeah.
La Vega. I remember La Vega, China Springs. They had to move
played there a few times
They
at Baylor.
They had to play at Baylor Stadium.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a stadium that was going to hold. They 2 and 3 in the state. A rivalry in the same district. So these guys have to go play at Baylor. But I say this to say that La Vega is one of those teams they're going to get kids in because they're traditionally strong. But Solana, that's a community. That's a town. Everybody going to Solana. So you going to get...
It's only one high school there.
Yeah,
so everybody in the whole city going to Salina High.
Yeah. so that's why I'm saying they got kids lifting weights at 2 years old out there, man. Getting ready for the program at 2, man.
I used to say that about
Salina what on their Pampers, man.
I used to say that about Stephenville. We played them in basketball. I'm like, man, are these the same kids that play the football? These are offensive linemen playing. I think Stephenville one of them towns as well, too. But, folks, there's a lot of great games, as I said, on the docket here for tonight. We just got done talking about La Vega taking on West Orange Stark. Coming on in just a second. He said, look.
I'm not worried about that. I'm encouraged by that field goal. But here's what I'm saying. As Houston goes up 3-0 on Colorado, again, my parlay doesn't look real good right now.
They started at the 2-yard line.
Yeah,
and march it out.
but they weren't able to run it well, and eventually they stopped them. So I'll go with that. Okay. Hey, but let me say this.
Okay.
I smell something in the air.
It's a little something out there, Rock. It's a little something out there for the folks. Y'all know how we do it, man. Here on Friday Night Flex, y'all seen the last couple of weeks. We're going to talk to y'all for a little bit, and we're going to eat for a little bit and show y'all some of the food that we get to eat and show you where you need to stop tomorrow when you're hungry. Maybe you're looking back at this and we say, like, man, where do we need to go? We're about to show you in just a second. We're getting ready to go into a break. When we come back, we'll go to you from the kitchen here at the studio here on Friday Night Flex to show you who is our in-house caterer
Big Mama's
for today.
dinner table.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here, folks. So we're going to a break. When we come back, you're gonna see the lineup we got here for us, and then we're gonna come back and give you guys some more football. So stay tuned, stay locked in with us right here on Friday Night Flex. We're gonna be right back after this short break.
Oh,
Y'all want to catch the rest of the broadcast? Go to CENTEX Sports Network on YouTube.